Hey everybody, it's Scrap Lady. Here to do an update on just some things that are going on. First of all, I was in the hospital this past week, and I was admitted on Wednesday. What happened was I was feeling some numbness on the left side of my face, and I felt it in the morning, and my kind of felt like a little fuzzy. Noticed it like right around my lips and stuff. It was weird. And so I kind of waited to see and kind of like got a little better, it seemed like. Then in the evening, it actually got worse, and it went basically down my left side. My left arm was numb. I got pretty scared, so my daughter said, "You need to go to the emergency room," and she's a nurse. So I did go, and they, our emergency room always has a long, long wait all the time. So they got me in just to do my vital signs and do some blood and an EKG, like right away, within the hour, which is right away, in my emergency room. Then I waited about, probably, let's see, 3 hours, and they finally called me in. I was kind of ready to go home, actually. I was going to leave, and they called me in, so I said, okay, I guess I'm not going to leave. And they ended up doing a whole bunch of tests. They did a CAT scan while I was in the emergency room, a chest x-ray, CAT scan of my brain. The doctor said that based on the labs, my blood sugar was very low. And I said, well, that's kind of weird because I ate dinner at like 7 o'clock and I had some tomato soup, of all things. And he said, well, your blood sugar is like 69. And thinking, after I'd eaten like 4 hours before, it's kind of low. So anyways, they gave me some juice, orange juice, and some graham crackers. And he said, we really need to admit you because it seems like you could have had a little mini stroke, which is called a TIA. Um, my gosh, it just left me. Trans-ischemic attack, I think, or something like that. Oh gosh, you all know who that. Bleh, all of you that know what it is like saying it. TIA, trans-ischemic attack, or something like that. I know this stuff. Anyways, so they admitted me. I didn't get to a room till like after 3 a.m. and they put me on CICU because the numbness was still there. It hadn't gone away. It got better, but it hadn't gone away. So they had me on the heart monitor and all that stuff. And the next day, on Thursday, they did an MRI of my brain. They did carotid ultrasounds to check my carotid arteries, and they did an echocardiogram to check my heart, an ultrasound of my heart. So basically everything came back normal, didn't show any signs of a stroke. However, mini strokes don't show up on any of these tests. So they said the likelihood that I had a mini stroke was pretty high because that's what the symptoms were. Fun. So it was a good thing that I did stay and get the tests done. So, I kind of knew. They have me on aspirin every day right now, besides my other medications, and I go back and see my doctor for a follow-up next week, I think. So, yeah, that was my little fun, if you want to call it that. Very stressful. Also, I'm going to get a blood sugar glucometer machine to check my blood sugar because I used to have diabetes on medication before I lost all the weight, and then I haven't had it since then. My blood sugars have been good. But it took a while for my A1C, which is what they test every 3 months to see how it is. It took a while for that to go down, and it actually just came down to 5.9, which was really, really good. But the doctor has been bugging me to, even though it's called diet control diabetes right now, he wants me to test my blood sugar to see how it, ranges every once in a while. And now it's even more important. If my blood sugar is dipping low, we need to know that. Anyways, so that's what's going on with me. I have to, obviously be aware. If the symptoms come back, I have to go right back to the emergency room. And just be aware, of what's my symptoms are and what's going on. So that's what's going on with me. And then Jack had a follow-up appointment at his cancer doctor on Friday. So we went to that, and as expected, his PSA has gone up, which we expected that. It's been 6 years since he was diagnosed, and the current medicine, he was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic prostate cancer 6 years ago. So stage 4 is like the highest stage. And basically, when he was diagnosed, it was pretty bad. And he got on the clinical trial that gave him early chemotherapy, which was really awesome. And it definitely prolonged things. So the expectation, he kind of made it a little further than the expectation for this treatment that he was on. But now it's failing. The treatment is not working anymore, which, again, they expect that to happen. So they do have a new medication, which they're very hopeful, but the overall picture, it's really not good, no matter how you look at it. And, sorry. So he's going to start on this new medication, which is like, fortunately, they have a program and it's going to be paid for, but it's $8,000 a month for this treatment, for this medication. But we don't have to pay for it, so that's not a concern. They say that rather than just attacking some of the cells that will continue to produce the hormone, this one attacks all of the cells. But its longevity is not as good as the other medication. The first time, I should say. So when you go in sort of like a remission kind of thing, when your PSA stays low, initially, whatever time that is, that's good. But then when it becomes refractory to that medication, then, it's not so good. So we don't know. Studies show 15 months, but we don't know. Obviously, you never know. It could be another 6 years. That's what we hope for. So we just don't know. But because, it's inevitable at some point. It is for everyone, obviously. But we've decided to do some things, and one of those is to sell our house. So it's going to take us a while because obviously, I have a lot of stuff, and I'm going to start destashing and becoming more aggressive with selling my things. I want to keep just bare minimum. We're going to buy a townhouse so that the equity we have in the house right now will give a very good down payment on a townhouse, and our mortgage will be very small. So that's the hopes. So that, and then we don't have to worry about anything basically. You know, we don't want to have to worry about mowing the lawn and all this other stuff. And I don't want to have to deal with this when the time comes. So we've decided that it's a good time to do it now. We want to enjoy ourselves for the time that we have left. So, you know, we still want to travel a lot. We're going to travel as much as we can. And so right now, our focus is on doing the repairs that need to be done in the house, downsizing tremendously, and Jack has a lot of stuff he has to get rid of too. So we've basically, you know, come to the conclusion that's kind of the number one priority. It's probably going to take at least 6 months. And we're going to try to do it as quickly as we can, but realistically, it's probably going to take at least 6 months. If it takes less time, that's good. So I'm going to just use a lot of different methods of trying to sell stuff. That's going to be yard sales. However, I'm in New England and the yard sale season at this point is pretty much over. And it's getting too cold and, you know, the weather's not good enough to have yard sales around here. So, which is fine. I can have indoor yard sales, which I have had in the past. So people come inside and, you know, I set up my dining room. So that's an option for me. For some of the things that just won't sell, that I know that won't sell, you know, on D-Stash or, you know, I have like stuff. So, you know, if there's no other ways to get rid of it, it'll be yard sale. And then if it doesn't go, then it'll be donation. So anyways, that's going to be our focus. And you'll probably see me doing more D-Stashes. I'm just still going to try to get the store back up and running. I took it down because of the yard sale, and you know, I definitely have to redo I have to redo the shipping included. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do the price of the item and then separate shipping. So we're working on that, and I still want to, you know, I still want to get the store up and running again and give it another good shot and see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's no big deal. I mean, I've had, you know, a fair amount of sales, but again, if it doesn't work out, it's not a huge deal. So you're going to be seeing D-Stashes for sure. And, you know, if there's something that you see and, you know, I've put a price on it and you want to make me an offer, please feel free to do that. Even though I may not say that in the video, please feel free to do that. And I may accept the offer. You know, it may be something that I could accept. So, you know, don't hesitate to do that. I'm willing to negotiate. I do need to get rid of stuff, a lot of stuff. So I don't know how much is de-stashable. A lot of it I think is, but I still have a lot of stuff in my basement, and you know, a lot of stuff it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep that, I'm going to keep that. Well, basically, if I can't fit it in the storage that I have here, I'm not keeping it. So that's pretty much the way it's going to go, because the townhouses basically have, we're looking for one with a finished basement, a first floor living area, and a second floor, at least 2 bedrooms. Probably just 2 bedrooms, I would imagine, but we'll see. And my daughter actually lives in one, and my other daughter, so Nicole lives in one with her boyfriend. They own a condo, and then my other daughter, Caitlin, just bought the one next door, and there was one for sale across the way, and it was a foreclosure, and Jack said we should really look at that and see if there's something we can do now and then rent it or something, but it actually is not for sale anymore. Someone already made an offer on it, so which is fine. Well, it'll be interesting to see if other ones in that complex, you know, come up, because the prices are very, very reasonable, so we'll see. But in the meantime, we're going to focus on doing what we need to do here to get the house to be able to sell it, so that we don't have to worry anymore. Even if, you know, he has a lot of years left, we will still be better off in something more manageable for us. We don't need all this space that we have here. And then when the time comes, you know, I'll at least be able to, I don't want to have to deal with all the stuff of selling the house, and he doesn't want me to have to deal with that either. So when the time comes, I will still be able to stay where I am and be able to afford it, which is good because I'm on disability also. So I will be able to, keep it and have something that I own and, well afford the mortgage and the rest of the, because I'll be one income and be able to afford that and whatever other bills I have. So that's the plan for now. And like I said, you take one day at a time, and we have lived that way for a long time. As far as like, if we want to travel, we travel. And, that's the way we choose to spend our money. And, we've done a lot of traveling, and so we plan on doing more. And we'll see what happens. But, we are going to live each day to the fullest. And like I said, grab every opportunity that we can. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for some D-stashes. All right, take care. Bye.